Hey guys, Amber here. So I wanted to go over a few things with you guys about the Tarakan blues here. If you're on Get Gills, you did see that I did a pretty large promotion for the Tarakan blues. I have 4 tanks full of them right now. So I have quite a few pairs, and I kind of just need to move some out. As you can see, these guys have been displaying at each other. They're not hurting each other. There's no ripped fins or anything like that, but I'm sure the time will come when there will be, and I just need some more tank space. So I want to try to downsize a little bit on these guys, so they're a little bit more manageable for me. Like I said, I did list some on Get Gills. I did have a few people buy some pairs. I do still have some pairs available, but I want to make sure that the ones that I've already sold get there alive. Everything's okay, just in case, since the weather is still a little temperamental. Just want to make sure everybody gets there okay, and I have enough to replace any if need be. Another thing is, these guys are really hard to sex. Even as adults, they're really difficult. Sometimes I stare at my adults, and only because I know which one's which do I really know. I'm pretty positive, pretty confident that I am able to properly sex them into pairs. It seems like the males have a much bolder stripe. The females do have a stripe, but it's not quite as bold. Could also be a male that's not fully mature. So for anyone who's getting these or interested in getting these, if for any reason, again, I'm pretty confident on what I'm sending you, if for any reason they turn out not to be a pair, please just email me, reach out to me on social media, let me know, and I will gladly send you a replacement, no charge, no shipping charge, anything like that, of the proper sex. Again, these guys are pretty difficult. They don't really have an egg spot like some other bettas do, so it makes it kind of difficult. They're not a wide array of different colors and finnage, so it's a little tough. It's a little tricky, but I will do my absolute best for sure. Here are the second, third, I'm not really sure how many. Here's a spawn that I just actually removed the male and female from. If you saw my video of the pair wrapping, these are the babies that they were in with. The female started chasing them around quite a bit, so I removed the parents. They've never hurt their fry while they're holding, but the male typically will spit, or won't spit, or will swallow his eggs if there's other babies in there. So I just figured I'd move them out anyways, give them some privacy, get them fed up. So here are the ones that I have taken out to be able to fast to ship next week, or this coming week. They're kind of hiding because I just moved them over here. Here, oops, sorry, kicked the stool. Here are the parents. The male is still holding even though I moved him, so that's cool. Hopefully he'll hold to term. You can see him kind of rolling the eggs there in his mouth. So I was getting a lot of questions because there's not a whole lot on these guys. I tried to Google search them furiously on YouTube, Google, pretty much any platform I knew how to. Reached out to some fish experts, wild betta experts, and I couldn't really get a whole lot of information on these guys. So everything I'm going to tell you right now is just how I've been doing it, how I've been keeping them, and what has worked for me, and what these guys are acclimated to, just to give you some kind of an idea. Focus. Really doesn't want to focus. There we go. Give you something to look at while I talk. So I keep these guys in my fish room. I keep the fish room itself about 78 degrees. These guys have handled just fine for long periods of time, down into the lower 70s, all the way up to about 84 or so. Typically I keep it about 78, so it varies, fluctuates a little bit from there day to day. My AC unit that I have in here isn't the best, so sometimes it works better than other times. As far as parameters go, I keep it pretty typical. I don't do anything very special for them. The pH is a little low naturally, but at the old location, it went anywhere from 6.0 all the way up to 7.6 or so, and they did just fine. When I very first got these guys, I did keep tannins in the water. I did use the Indian almond leaves, but I was having a hard time finding them there for a while, and I slowly transitioned them to completely clean water, no tannins at all. And they've done pretty well in that. Actually, after I stopped using the tannins is when they started spawning. I don't know if that's just coincidence or what, but I do not keep tannins in the water at all for them. I'm not saying you can't, just letting you know that I don't, so you don't need to do that for the babies. They have been plenty well established in just normal parameters that you would do in most any fish aquarium there. Someone asked if you could keep the pairs together. I don't know. I only really have the one adult pair that's sexually mature. The babies, as you saw, were displaying at each other. I'm not sure if when they mature, if they would fight. You can try it, just watch for signs of more aggressive behavior. Again, they do mouth display at each other quite often, but I still haven't noticed any ripped fins or anything like that, so I'm not really sure. Just definitely have another setup ready if you want to try that, just in case. Let's see, these guys are from South Borneo, from what I found. I'm not sure if these guys are going to get a whole lot bigger, honestly. Most pictures I see, they're about this big. The adults are probably 4 to 5 inches total. The ones you guys are going to be getting are about 2 or so inches in length, nose to tail tip. I'm sure there's other questions out there. If you have any other questions, please feel free to message me, email me, reach out to me on social media, comment on a video, on a picture. I'll be more than happy to do my best to answer you. While I'm here, I'm going to show you guys a little update on the Appy Appies. So the babies are now free swimming. There's one right here, if you can see him. Yeah, there he is. He's kind of hanging in there still. I did remove the male today, since they're free swimming now. They've kind of all dispersed from the bubble nest. And they're kind of all around the tank. I don't know if you can see them at all, but there's some kind of hanging out, resting on the top of these leaves. They're kind of hanging on to the sides of the pot and around the rim of the tank. There is also this little PVC in here, and I'm sure there's some up in there too. So I am feeding these guys now. So here is the vinegar eel culture harvester thing that I showed you guys in the last video, actually set up. My first piece of filter floss kind of fell down there, so I had to put another one in since I couldn't reach it. But basically they'll crawl through this. There's water in the top here, and the worms will kind of congregate up there, and that's all fresh water. So what I'll do is I'll take my baster, I'll suck some of that up, and as gently as I can, get it to focus here, I will feed. I'll try to put it in the water and just very lightly put it in there. I'll suck up a little bit of fresh water and just kind of refill the top here so I can harvest again. I'll do this several times a day, as many times as I possibly can, really, to get these guys fed properly. Make sure they grow healthy. I do also have my brine set up now again. Sorry about that, that was my chair. Again, I do it very simply. These are 2-liter bottles cut. I've got one in a vase, I've got one in a cup. I have an airline and a rigid airline tube down there to bubble them. Really just need the water to be moving. This one I will be harvesting from today. See, it's nice and orange-pink color. This one is more brown. I do a 48-hour hatch on my brine. Some people do more, some people do less. 48 hours with this strain seems to work really well, and I get a pretty good hatch. Again, I know I explained it in the other video, but I will drain these down. I will take the airline out, let everything settle, let the eggs, unhatched eggs and cysts come to the top, and then I will strain it down into another cup, put it through a sieve, rinse them off, and feed them that way. Not everybody does that. Some people don't rinse at all, and that's perfectly fine too. I do add some salt to the aquariums every now and again, just to make sure there's no ick or anything crazy like that, which there normally is, and I normally will know that. I do quarantine, so not really a big deal there. But I do routinely add it once a month or so, so I want to make sure I'm not giving them too much salt, especially in a small aquarium where I'm raising up babies. So yeah, guys, that's kind of all I wanted to do today. Again, reach out to me if you have any more questions, or if you know anything that I don't know, that would be awesome too. I'm always up for suggestions. I will let everyone know when I post them back up for sale, and I hope everyone has a great weekend.